Hello, my name is Laryce McLaughlin, and I have been diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, triple negative, stage 3A breast cancer. That's a lot to say. Let's try saying it fast. A little bit of back history on my situation. I've had a lump in my left breast since 2005. I went to the doctor. The doctor did a mammogram and said, okay, this is a fibroid. There's nothing to worry about. At the time, I was 27 years old, so that's fairly young. But the doctor said, what we're going to do is we're going to monitor this. You're going to have to get a mammogram every time you do your annual, just so that we can check to make for sure that this is not grown. 10 years, speed up. Get to December 2014. Now, the lump in my breast, is still the same size. It's fine. February 2015, I noticed that it's a little bit larger. Well, anybody that's ever been through a mammogram knows that they put our boobies through a lot. They put it in a machine, they smush it, they squeeze it, they do a lot. So I thought to myself, well, maybe the lump has kind of shifted, and that's why it seems bigger to me. There may not necessarily be an issue. So I put it to the back burner. I was planning a baby shower for my sister. My nephew was making his huge grand entrance this year. I had a lot of exciting things going on. April comes, I'm taking a shower, and I notice a lump in my armpit on the same side as the lump in my breast. I'm still not feeling what you would say scared, but I'm like, okay, this can't be normal, so maybe I need to contact my doctor again and talk to them about what's going on. In the meantime, I called my best friend, who's a registered nurse, in my eyes, the top nurse in the country, but of course that's biased, but she is one of the top nurses in North Carolina. And I said, hey, take a look at this lump in my breast and feel this lump in my armpit. She looked me in my eyes and she said, Reese, you need to contact the doctor and have them do a biopsy. I said, okay. I still didn't feel scared or anything. I was just like, okay, fine. I want to know what's going on. Contacted the doctor. They referred me to a breast surgeon. As soon as the breast surgeon looked at my lump, she immediately called for a biopsy. Even though I said I wanted a biopsy, I could sense the concern and the urgency. I went for a biopsy the very next day. The radiologist came back and said that the lump in my armpit looked malignant, but the lump in my breast looked benign. I was like, that's weird. I've never heard of that, but I mean, I'm not a doctor either, so that is creditless. So we completed the biopsy, and she explained to me that the lump in my breast could be what they call a phyllodes or phyllodes tumor. I immediately just broke down crying because anyone who hears cancer or malignant, that's just a lot. And it was especially a lot for me because my mother back in 2004 was diagnosed with lung cancer and lost her battle in 2011. So at the time when the radiologist was telling me that they felt that the lump in my armpit was malignant was exactly 4 years to the anniversary date of my mother having passed away. So it was a lot. It was a lot. My husband, bless his heart, was like, we're not going to give in to that. She said that's what it looks like to her, not what it is. We won't know anything until we get the definite results from biopsy. 9 days later, those results came back. They came back as the invasive ductal carcinoma. At that time, 2 of my receptors were negative, the estrogen and progesterone. I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing one of those. Not estrogen, but the progesterone. I think it's progesterone. You know what I mean. Those came back negative. So I was like, yes, great, negative. That's what I want. Yay. And the doctor was like, well, no, if those 2 are negative, more than likely the HER2 will come back negative, and that will be what we call triple negative breast cancer, and that is a more aggressive form of breast cancer. Well, at that point, that's when my husband was extremely upset. First of all, for it to be confirmed that I had breast cancer was a huge, huge, huge shocker. No one in my family has breast cancer, and I was always taught, or so I thought, that breast cancer was an inherited disease that your mom, your aunt, your grandmother, everybody had it on the maternal side, or the paternal side, they were grandparents, or I'm sorry, your grandmother or your aunt. So if no one in my family had that, then my sister and I were okay. And the doctor was like, well, no, not necessarily. Um, there are several people that have been diagnosed with breast cancer that no one in their family has had it. Sat with the oncologist, and the oncologist explained to me, well, it did come back that my HER2 was negative. The oncologist was awesome. And a piece of advice for me, I know you're like, who are you? Always get a second opinion. And that's not to discredit what your doctor has told you or what they know, but sometimes a second opinion is good because it's a clearer explanation, it's a confirmation. I mean, hearing it twice, I don't know, but for me, a second opinion was good because the second oncologist did a lot more research, a lot more testing, where my first doctor came back and said that the lump under my armpit was inconclusive, and they weren't going to biopsy it anymore, but they were going to treat it like it was definitely cancer. My second opinion biopsied it again, and it did come back as definite cancer, and I could respect that. I appreciated that. And so one of the exciting things that I feel good about with the triple negative breast cancer is that years ago, this used to be a very grim diagnosis. You hear aggressive and cancer in the same sentence, and you just think, wow. And that's one of the things that the doctors tell you about triple negative breast cancer. It's an aggressive form of breast cancer. It is. It grows fast. One of the biggest concerns is that once you get rid of it, it comes back and it spreads to one of the major organs. Lucky for me, they tested it to make sure that it was had not metastasized, which I was so happy about that. It's not in my right breast. I was extremely happy about that. It's just in my left breast, and there's a lump in my armpit. Another thing that I'm excited about is that they have a clinical trial to see if they can get a special treatment plan for triple negative breast cancer. The other breast cancers, they have a cocktail of chemotherapy that's targeted for those exact receptors. They don't have that for triple negative breast cancer, and that's one of the issues that the oncologists have with that diagnosis now. What causes it to spread spread so fast, and what can we do to stop the spreading, shrink it faster, get rid of it, and have little to no chance of recurrence? This clinical trial is exciting for me because they're testing new medication, and I could be a part of something that could help future diagnosis with this disease. I mean, every medication that everyone is taking has been through a clinical trial. So I'm not worried about that in a sense. I'm just more so ready to start the chemotherapy process, ready to get better, and move forward. My first chemo session is July 1st, Wednesday actually, and I'm remaining in good spirits. Attitude is everything. Attitude and a huge support base is everything. If you don't have a huge support base, find a place where you can reach out and get someone that can help you with that. Churches, friends, family, you need a huge support system. You just do, because this is not something that you can do alone. This isn't something that you want to do alone, and I'm very blessed to not have to go through it alone. My family, they're on board and they're awesome. My family, my friends, everyone. Educate yourself. They tell you to stay off the internet, and I understand why, because there are some gruesome, ugly, horrific stories. And that's why one of the reasons why I wanted to do my own documentation of this is because when I first typed in triple negative breast cancer, oh my Lord, the things that I saw. This is people saying that that's the breast cancer that they didn't want to have. They had to have breast cancer. That was the last breast cancer that they want to have. The statistic shows that the survival is very, very low. And I mean, there are some important facts that are out there, but educate yourself and speak with your oncologist, because the internet will have you feeling like you just need to go lay on some railroad tracks and it's over. And lucky for me, I know that what my God is capable of and how awesome my God is. So that wasn't even a concern of mine. What I wanted to know was, okay, what do I need to do to make this journey a little bit smoother with my eating habits, with my exercising. What do I need to do? There's so much out there to assist you with that. If you can't, avoid all negativity on the internet. I am a natural researcher by heart. That's what I do. I research. And research on top of research. Read up and learn your disease, because no one knows your body better than you. Not the doctors, no one. So when they tell you that you have triple negative breast cancer, say, okay, first of all, I don't have anything. I've been diagnosed with this disease. And then move forward to trying to figure out how to calm yourself, because attitude is everything. Attitude, I know I've cried twice since I've been diagnosed with this. And that's not to say that you won't cry. That's not to say that I won't cry anymore. That's not to say that you should not cry. Pick your head up, keep your spirits up, stay informed. Don't believe everything that you read. If you read something and it's not what you think it is, or it concerns you a lot, contact your oncologist. I have a great team, and any question that I ask my oncologist, she's more than willing to answer. I got my port in. I know, don't look at how ghetto my little tape is over it. I've been picking with it, and they need to take the tape off. I got the port in my arm. This little bruise right there, but don't look at that either. The port process was not painful at all for me. It was the numbing session that was painful, but that's like about 20 seconds. It feels like about 15 bee stings going in you or hitting you. Once those bee stings are gone, they test it to see, okay, can you feel this? How does this feel? Because they want to make sure that you are numbed up good, so that when they cut into you to put the port into you, you don't feel anything. My surgeon was awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Once we got past that numbing stage, easy breezy. The healing process, easy breezy. I had a lot of questions about, how the port felt, how a biopsy feels. So I'm telling you or answering any questions that I had. The biopsy, same thing. The numbing, awful. Feels like 100 bee stings, stings. But once they get the numbing in you, you don't feel anything. You don't feel anything. I can't really speak on the chemo as other than what I saw my mom go through and what her stories were, but everyone is different. I start my chemo on Wednesday. I am going to try my best to keep that documented and keep you all up to date on that. But if I start looking like a monkey with a wig on, I cannot promise you that I will come on here and do a face-to-face with you. I might just have some music playing in the background and some words going across the screen. But my spirits are high. I am staying prayed up. I am confident that I am going to beat this. I am ready to beat this. I know what my purpose in life is. I know now why God put me on this earth. I now know what his plan is for me as to with this disease that I've been diagnosed with, and I'm going to follow through with it. That's all that I can do. I'm not sad. I don't plan on being sad. I plan on strapping up, because this is a battle. It is a battle. And I have to fight. I have too much to not fight for it. And I'm going to do just that. So I will continue to keep you posted. Any questions you have, my email is LaryceMcLaughlin@yahoo.com. That's LaryceMcLaughlin@yahoo.com. And I just want everybody to remain blessed.